Hello, before we begin, I would appreciate a like and a subscription to my channel. Let's get started. I'm still kind of reeling from it all, so bear with me. It's been about 3 weeks since everything blew up. My girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend now, her name's Madison, and she's 27. We'd been together nearly 2 years, and for the past year, she'd been living in my condo just outside Columbus, Ohio. Things felt fine, or at least not terrible. Sure, we'd been a little distant lately, but I figured that was just the stress from her work. Nothing seemed bad enough to signal what came next. That Tuesday night, while I was making chili and flipping through the Reds game, I got a text from her, out of nowhere. It said, "Things feel kind of messy right now, and I just need a little space to figure stuff out. Please don't reach out for a bit. I'll contact you when I'm ready." I just stood there with my phone in one hand and a wooden spoon in the other, not knowing what to think. Space is one of those words you never want to hear in a relationship. It never means what it says. Still trying to be mature, I texted back, "All right, Madison, take whatever time you need. I'll be here." That was it. Silence after that. I didn't call, didn't text. I did exactly what she asked. I spent the next couple days feeling like a ghost in my own place. I wasn't sleeping right, just going through the motions. Work kept me distracted enough during the day, but nights were rough. Then Friday came around. I was scrolling through Instagram on my couch, just trying to kill time. That's when I saw it. A mutual friend had tagged her in a post, beach, blue skis, fruity drinks in hand. Madison was grinning like she hadn't a care in the world, pressed up against her ex, Tyler, the same guy she always swore was just some old college mistake. The caption, "Island vibes, second chances." My stomach dropped. That space she needed. Turned out it was a tropical getaway with her ex-boyfriend, all while I was here, giving her exactly what she asked for. In that moment, everything shifted. The confusion turned to clarity. She didn't want space. She wanted me on standby while she test drove someone else. So yeah, that was my breaking point. She didn't want space. She wanted a getaway with Tyler while I sat around like some backup option. Well, I'm not anyone's plan B. You want space. You'll get all the space you need. Saturday morning, first thing, I called a locksmith. Cost me around $240, but honestly, I'd have paid double just for the peace of mind. Had him swap out both the deadbolt and handle lock on the front door. Madison's key, now just a useless piece of metal. But that wasn't all. Let me back up a little. About half a year earlier, her old Honda finally gave up the ghost. She was commuting a lot for her digital marketing job, meeting clients, bouncing between coffee shops and parking spots, and she needed something reliable. Her credit was shot to hell, so I stepped in. We agreed I'd buy the car and she'd make payments to me month by month. So I picked up a gently used Ford Escape, nothing fancy but in good shape. Cost me just under 20 grand. The paperwork, all in my name. Loan, registration, insurance, everything. She had no legal claim to it, but she acted like it was hers. Fuzzy dice on the mirror, bumper stickers, even put a lavender air freshener in it that made the whole thing smell like a soap shop. Anyway, I still had the spare key. After the locks were changed, I drove it over to a dealership I trust on the east side of town, told them I was looking to sell, gave them the whole situation in a nutshell. They looked it over, did a quick estimate, and offered me about $16,000 on the spot, pending full inspection and paperwork. Sounded good to me. Signed the preliminary papers and left the car there. Caught a lift back home, feeling oddly calm. I hadn't touched her personal things yet. Her clothes, books, all that, still in the spare room closet. I wasn't going to throw it out. That felt vindictive, but I also wasn't about to let her waltz back in like nothing happened. She told me not to contact her. She asked for distance, so that's exactly what I gave her. The next few days I focused on getting my place back to feeling like mine. I was still hurting, sure, but it wasn't rage driving me. It was logic. She drew the map and I just followed it. From what I could tell on Instagram, the vacation was still going strong. Great. Let her enjoy the sunset cocktails and resort life. Because when she got back and found her key didn't work, and her car was nowhere to be seen, well, let's just say reality was going to hit her like a freight train. Fast forward a week, she finally came back. It was a Tuesday night around 9, and I was sitting on the couch watching some Food Network rerun, sipping a beer, trying not to overthink what I knew was coming. Then I heard it, keys jingling outside the door. Then the metallic scrape of a key trying to fit into a lock that no longer recognized it. Pause. More scraping, this time faster, more frantic. Then the banging started. "Jason, open the door. What the hell is going on?" Madison's voice, sharp and confused. I stood up, heart pounding but weirdly calm. Opened the door just a crack, kept the chain on. She was standing there in flip-flops and a sundress, rolling a suitcase behind her, her skin tanned and her eyes flashing with attitude. "My key's not working," she said, all indignant. "Did something happen to the lock?" I kept my voice flat. "Yeah, I changed them." Her mouth dropped. "You what? Why would you do that?" You told me not to contact you, remember? Said you needed space, so I gave it to you, permanently. She blinked like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. You can't be serious. I just needed time to think. You can't just lock me out. I looked her dead in the eye. Saw the pictures, Madison. You and Tyler, arm in arm, toes in the sand. Seems like you made your choice. That's when her face twisted, like anger and panic were wrestling inside her. It wasn't like that. We're just friends. It was just a trip. Romantic island getaways with exes don't scream, just friends, I said. You wanted space, you got it. Then her eyes darted to the driveway. Where's my car? I could almost feel the entitlement rising off her. She fully expected everything to be exactly how she left it. You mean my car, I said. It's at the dealership. I'm selling it. What? You can't do that. I paid for that car. No, I said calmly. You made partial payments to me for use. It was always in my name. I've already started the paperwork. She was losing it now. You're stealing from me. I'm calling the police. She pulled out her phone, waving it around like it was a magic wand. I just shrugged. Go ahead. Tell them your ex changed the locks on his condo after you told him not to contact you and went on a romantic trip with another guy, and that he's selling a car legally registered to him. Let me know how that plays out. She stared at me, phone frozen halfway to her ear. Then her jaw tightened and her eyes narrowed. You're disgusting, she hissed. You planned this. And you planned a beach vacation with your ex and asked me to sit quiet while you played house. So yeah, I planned a response. That's when her sister pulled up, Savannah, younger, loud, and just as entitled. She stormed up the walkway like she was charging into court. What's going on? Savannah demanded. Why is Madison locked out? Why is her car gone? Madison turned on the waterworks right away. He changed the locks. He's selling my car. He's kicking me out. Savannah glared at me. Are you serious? After everything she's done for you, this is how you treat her. This is my place, I said. It was my car. She told me not to contact her, then went vacationing with her ex. I'm just following her lead. You're supposed to support her, Savannah snapped, not punish her. Support her cheating on me. No thanks, I said. Then Madison demanded her stuff, right there and then, like I was just going to roll out a red carpet at 9 at night. Not happening, I told them. You can text me a time tomorrow to pick up your things. I'll box them up and leave them inside the entryway. You're not coming in. You don't get to make the rules, she barked. I stared her down. I do now. This is my home. You wanted no contact. This is the contact arrangement. Text me a time. Then I closed the door. Locked it, double-checked it. My hands were shaking from adrenaline, but deep down, I felt relieved. The shouting continued outside for a few more minutes, mostly Madison ranting, Savannah trying to act like some backup attorney. Then they left. 2 hours later, I got a text, not from Madison, from Savannah. It just said, Madison wants her stuff tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be ready. No please, no thanks, just a demand. I replied, okay. Then I got to work boxing up every last thing I could find that belonged to her. The next morning came fast, 10 on the dot, just like the text said. But it was Madison standing outside my door. It was Savannah again, this time with their mom, Diane. And from the second she stepped up to the front porch, she had tears in her eyes. Not the real kind, though. The kind you turn on like a faucet when you want to play the victim card. Jason, Diane said, voice cracking, how could you do this to her? After 2 years together, she gave you everything. I didn't even flinch. She gave me a breakup text and then went on a vacation with her ex. She made her choice. She was confused, Diane said, clutching her purse like it was holding her together. She needed time. You should have been more patient. In selling her car, Savannah chimed in, arms crossed. That was low. It was my car, I said, holding the door just wide enough for them to see the pile of boxes inside the entryway. And this is her stuff, all boxed up, ready to go. You can take it now. Diane wrinkled her nose like she smelled something sour. We'll need to check the bathroom and the closets. Make sure you didn't miss anything. Nope, I said. You can take what's right here. I went through everything. You're not coming in. Don't be ridiculous, Savannah said. What if you overlooked something? I leaned against the doorframe. Then it's unfortunate. You can stand there, I'll stand here. Take the boxes and go. They clearly weren't used to being told no. Diane kept pushing. Savannah kept posturing like she was about to demand a court order. But I wasn't budging. This was my home and they weren't getting past the threshold. Eventually they started hauling the boxes out to the car. Took them 3 trips, all the while Diane rattled on about how heartless I was, how devastated Madison was, how I'd ruined her life and owed her for the car. I just kept repeating the same line like a broken record. It was my car. She ended the relationship. Once they finally left, I closed the door and locked it. The silence that followed felt like stepping out into cool air after being stuck in a humid room. But of course, the drama didn't stop there. That afternoon, my phone lit up with messages. first from Savannah's number, then from Madison directly. They were coming in hot and cold. One moment Madison was apologizing, saying she missed me and made a terrible mistake. The next she was demanding I pay her back for the car, threatening small claims court, saying I had no right. I ignored all the emotional bait, but I did send one final reply, short and straight. Madison, the car was mine. I held the title, the loan, and the insurance. You paid for the time you used it, nothing more. Consider it a rental. This conversation is over. Then I blocked her number, blocked Savannah, blocked Diane, but even that didn't stop it completely. It didn't take long before the ripple effects started hitting. Within a couple of days, my phone started blowing up again, but this time it was Madison or her family. It was people we both knew, friends of hers. Folks I barely interacted with outside of birthdays or backyard cookouts suddenly acting like they had front row seats to our breakup. Dude, what you did to Madison, that was cold. Can't believe you sold her car while she was out of town. Not cool. I could see it right away. She was rewriting the whole story, painting herself as the heartbroken girlfriend who went away to clear her head and came home to find her life ripped out from under her. Left out the part about booking a beachfront room with her ex while ghosting me. Real convenient. I tried setting the record straight with a couple of people I thought might actually listen. I explained. She asked for no contact. She went on a getaway with her ex. The car was legally mine. Some got it. Others clearly had already chosen their side. Honestly, I wasn't going to lose sleep over fair-weather friends who only knew half the story. Then out of nowhere, I got a call from my building manager. Said there'd been a complaint, anonymous of course, about noise and supposed confrontations happening outside my unit. Allegedly someone heard shouting and was concerned. For a second I froze. That kind of thing can get you flagged in a lease. But thankfully, I've always been on good terms with management. I laid everything out, told him that my girlfriend, who wasn't on the lease, had recently moved out after a breakup. There was a brief argument outside the door when she came back unannounced, and her family showed up later to collect her things. I assured him that nothing happened inside the apartment and that she no longer lived there. He was understanding, said he'd make a note of it and not to worry unless they received further complaints. I could practically hear the eye roll in his voice when he said, anonymous. It was obvious to me, either Madison or her sister was trying to stir up trouble and get me flagged with the landlord. Real classy. Then, because apparently this story wasn't chaotic enough, I got a message request on Instagram from Tyler. Yeah, that Tyler. Didn't even open it, just hit delete and blocked him right there. I had zero interest in hearing whatever half-baked excuse or smug nonsense he had to say. Whether he was trying to gloat or explain himself, it didn't matter. He was just as much a part of the problem. But honestly, all these dirty moves, snitching to the landlord, spinning stories to mutual friends, trying to guilt me with texts and drama, they didn't make me regret anything. They made me feel more certain than ever that I did the right thing, that I had dodged a bullet, and I'd been living with someone who was all about appearances and entitlement. This wasn't just a mistake she made. This was who she really was, and who she had around her to back her up. About 2 weeks later, just when I thought the dust might finally settle, I got something in the mail, an envelope, with one of those cheap legal letterheads you can practically buy in bulk online. Inside, a typed-up demand for compensation from some budget attorney Madison must have found on Google. The letter claimed I owed her $10,000 for emotional damages and her investment in the vehicle. It was filled with misspellings, vague threats, and absolutely no legal standing. I wasn't rattled. I'd already spoken to a real lawyer when things first went sideways, just to make sure I was covered. So I passed the letter along to him, and he fired back with a response that shut the whole thing down cold. It included scanned copies of the car title, the financing agreement, and the insurance policy, all of it in my name, front to back. He explained politely but firmly that her contributions were simply payments for usage, not ownership. He even tossed in a breakdown showing that if we calculated standard depreciation per mile, she actually underpaid for the amount she drove. To really seal it, we attached a screenshot of the original "I need space, don't contact me" text, along with timestamps of her tropical adventure with Tyler, all posted publicly on social media. The closing line was the kicker. Any further false claims or harassment would lead to a formal cease and desist, plus we'd seek recovery of legal fees if it went any further. After that, crickets. Guess her lawyer realized they were bluffing a losing hand, and without me footing her lifestyle anymore, she wasn't about to bankroll a court case. Over the next month or so, I picked up bits and pieces from friends still loosely connected to her world. Apparently, Madison ended up crashing on Savannah's couch for a while, which surprise turned into a disaster. Madison expected her sister to cover rent, food, and basically wait on her. That didn't last. Tyler, he dipped the moment real life came knocking. Once the resort tan faded and the Instagram stories dried up, he vanished like a magician. Didn't want to play house with someone who came with baggage and no car. Eventually, with no one left to lean on, Madison moved back in with her parents down in rural Kentucky. The same parents she always rolled her eyes at whenever they called. From what I heard, she spends most days complaining to anyone who will listen about how I destroyed her future and took everything from her. No self-reflection, no ownership, just nonstop blame. And honestly, I feel zero guilt. Because now, finally, my place feels like mine again. I painted the living room last weekend, swapped out the last few pieces of furniture she picked, and for the first time in over a year, I'm not walking on eggshells in my own home. The revenge wasn't dramatic or loud. It wasn't about yelling or slamming doors. It was steady, quiet, and rooted in boundaries. She asked for distance, and I gave her miles of it. She chose a fling over a relationship. She gambled and lost. And she found out the hard way that I wasn't the doormat she thought she had in her back pocket. The empty parking spot, the locked front door, the silence, that was all just the echo of her choices. And to be honest, it sounded pretty damn good.